Welcome back. Now, in part three, we turn to something else that's been making headlines: Berkshire's massive cash pile, over $350 billion. Becky Quick asks Buffett why he's sitting on that much cash, what he's doing with it, and why Apple still holds a special place in his portfolio. Here's part three. How much cash do you think one company can hold before it becomes almost unimaginable? Well, Berkshire Hathaway is sitting on over $350 billion, and the way Warren Buffett handles it is nothing short of fascinating.
That's an incredible number to even think about. And what's even more interesting is how Buffett treats that cash, not as something to spend impulsively, but as a tool for patience and precision.
Exactly. He's not rushing to deploy it, even with the market showing some corrections recently. Instead, he's been steadily buying short-term Treasury bills. Just last week, Berkshire purchased $17 billion worth of them.
That's such a Buffett move, isn't it? While others might feel the pressure to make big investments, he's perfectly content to park that money in T-bills until the right opportunity comes along.
And it's not just about parking money, it's about discipline. He even joked that Berkshire might be the largest bidder for T-bills these days. It's a far cry from the Salomon Brothers scandal in the early 90s, where overbidding on Treasury auctions caused a major crisis.
Oh, that's such a classic Buffett story. For anyone who doesn't know, back in 1991, Salomon Brothers violated the rule that no single entity could buy more than 35% of a Treasury issue. Buffett had to step in as interim chairman to save the company from collapse.
It's one of those moments that shows his ability to manage not just investments, but also crises. And now, decades later, he's calmly buying billions in T-bills without breaking a sweat.
What's fascinating is how he delegates the mechanics of these transactions. He mentioned Mark Millard, the guy in his office who handles all the stock and bond trades. Buffett keeps it simple. He calls Mark every morning, adjusts the limit orders if needed, and lets him handle the rest.
That simplicity is so refreshing, especially when you think about how chaotic high-stakes investing can seem. Most people imagine a room full of traders yelling into phones, but Buffett's approach is almost serene.
And that serenity extends to his views on the broader market. Becky Quick asked him about the recent market corrections, and he was completely unfazed. He said the current downturn is nothing compared to the 2008 financial crisis or even the 1987 crash.
That's the perspective of someone who's seen it all. For him, a 5% or 6% drop in stock prices isn't enough to get excited. He's waiting for something bigger, something that offers real value.
And when that moment comes, he'll be ready. But in the meantime, he's not just sitting on his hands. Take Apple, for example. It's still Berkshire's largest single investment, and he's made over $100 billion in pre-tax profits from it.
That's mind-blowing. And what's even more impressive is how he views Apple. Not as a tech company, but as a consumer products company. He sees it as a product that people can't live without, much like Coca-Cola or American Express.
That's such a unique perspective. Most investors look at Apple and see cutting-edge technology, but Buffett sees the brand loyalty and the emotional connection people have with their products.
And he's right. Apple has become so ingrained in our lives that it's hard to imagine a world without it. Buffett even praised Tim Cook for how he's managed the company post-Steve Jobs.
That's high praise coming from Buffett. He's not one to throw around compliments lightly. And he's not worried about regulatory pressures on Apple either. He believes the consumer love for Apple is so strong that it would be political suicide for regulators to do anything that might harm the company.
It's a fascinating take. And it ties back to his broader investment philosophy. He's not chasing trends like AI or other tech fads. He sticks to what he knows, what he calls his circle of competence.
That's such a cornerstone of his strategy. He's not interested in learning about AI or jumping into industries he doesn't understand. Instead, he focuses on businesses with strong consumer demand and durable competitive advantages, what he calls their moats.
And that's why he's been so successful. He doesn't try to be everything to everyone. He stays in his lane, whether it's investing in Apple, Coca-Cola, or American Express.
Speaking of American Express, that story he told about the salad oil scandal in the 1960s, is such a classic Buffett moment. Everyone thought American Express was doomed, but he saw through the noise and recognized the strength of their brand.
It's a perfect example of his ability to focus on the fundamentals. While others panicked, he went out and talked to customers and businesses. He realized that despite the scandal, people still trusted and used American Express.
And that trust was the company's moat. It's the same kind of moat he sees in Apple today, a deep emotional connection with consumers that's hard to replicate.
It's a lesson in looking beyond the headlines and focusing on what really matters. Buffett's ability to do that, time and time again, is what sets him apart.
Absolutely. And it's not just about picking the right investments, it's about having the patience and discipline to wait for the right opportunities. That's why he's sitting on $350 billion in cash. He's waiting for the next big opportunity, not chasing after small gains.
It's a masterclass in long-term thinking. Whether it's holding on to American Express for decades or waiting for the right moment to deploy his cash reserves, Buffett's approach is a reminder that sometimes the best move is to wait.
It's a lesson we could all learn from. Buffett's patience, discipline, and focus on fundamentals are what make him one of the greatest investors of all time.
No doubt about it. And for anyone looking to learn from Buffett, the lessons are clear. Know your circle of competence, focus on businesses with strong moats, and always think long-term.
It's advice that's as timeless as Buffett himself.
Absolutely. And with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. From Berkshire's cash reserves to Buffett's thoughts on Apple and his investment philosophy, there's so much to take away.
Definitely. It's always inspiring to dive into the mind of Warren Buffett.
It really is. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to hear about the next big move he makes with that $350 billion.
I can't wait. Until then, we'll just have to keep learning from the moves he's already made.
Couldn't agree more. And that's it for part 3. From T-bills to Apple, Buffett's patience and discipline remain the cornerstones of his strategy. But what about the bigger picture? In part 4, Becky Quick presses him on the macroeconomy, interest rates, the Federal Reserve, and the stability of the banking system. That's coming up next video.